Greetings, my people. Greetings, my people. Greetings, my people. Today is Friday, December 5th, 2024. Today is Friday, December 5th, 2024. I don't know if it's going. Let me see. Okay. Today is Friday, December 5th, 2024. Almost the end of the year, y'all. And I'm not gonna be long today because I see they cut my video short for whatever reason. Um, but I want to talk about something real quick, a real serious matter. The comedian, if you want to call him that, uh, Andrew Schulz, who is a Western small hat, but emphasis on the Western. And as you know, when I say Western, I just really mean European. And we can get into the nuances of his nationality, his race, or whatever. But I'm gonna talk about this way of thinking. I'm gonna say this is a very colonized, savage way of thinking, right? But they disguise things in jokes. I always say, be careful of those jokes. It's always truth to those jokes. Like, pay attention to the little sarcasm that people bring you, right? Pay attention to the things that and people say, but this is flat out just it's just flat. This ain't even comedy. So before I go into it, I'm gonna let you hear exactly what he say. TikTok, this I mean not TikTok, YouTube. This is for educational purposes only, and educational purposes only.
Like, first of all, Kendrick's people and the gang affiliate, everybody is security. They will kill me. They will destroy me. They'll find me in the street. They'll fucking cut me up. They'll shoot me. They'll do whatever. I'm not a tough guy. Y'all do. But just Kendrick, I would make love to him. There's nothing he can do about it. Just Kendrick Lamar, I would make love to him, and the only thing that he could do is decide if it's consensual or not. That's the only thing he could do. If it's me and Kendrick, no, this is about physics. It's about physics. I don't even know if I'll get hard. But if we're in a cell, there's a chance that if we're in a cell and we're bored and we've done tattooing each other, whatever you do in the cell, and we ran out of board games and we did all the other things, we cleaned everything, and I'm like, man, I might as well fuck you. There's nothing he could physically do to stop that. Besides put his legs in the air and choose a position. Maybe I'll let him choose a position. Why are you putting this picture on Mark? Why are you doing this? Look at, put up that picture with him and Travis Kelce's girl. Look at that shit. Oh my God, dude, that's unbelievable. Yo, I'll be honest, I would go so far as to say, I don't think he could stop most people on the planet from having sex with him. Like, the only reason he got security is to stop people from having sex with him whenever he wants. Now, don't get me wrong, there's people who can fuck me against my will. I was in an elevator once with this drag queen, and this motherfucker was like 6'5". Oh, yeah. And we're in the elevator, and we're going down. I'm like, yo, if he wanted to take it, I gotta cause a ruckus or something like that. Like, I gotta do something. I know with Kendrick that he's talking a lot of shit, but if it came down to it, I could put him on my lap. I could feed him a bottle. I could put him on my lap. I could feed him a bottle and make love to him if I wanted to, and there's nothing he could do about it. I might not be hard. Dick might just slap soft against his butt. I could be romantic with him, and there's nothing he could do about it, to the point, like, I think I'm so charming, he would just fall into it. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, I think he would just be so charmed. He would be like, damn, like, what? Let me suck it up. You want to talk about another album called Damn. Sit down. Reincarnated. Ask I penetrated. Listen, but in all seriousness, we love Kendrick Lamar, our woke king. And I think we're gonna do our best to abide by his. I don't know what his rules are about, like, me having sex with him if we're in a room together. I don't think he would want that. We don't know.
So you hear that, right? And what is the most disgusting is, what part do you think is the most disgusting? Out of what you heard, what I played, the most disgusting part are the males, especially the black dude that's on the panel. Yucking it up, laughing, kikiing, all teeth showing. Right? And I titled this Andrew Schulz, Sex and Violence, Their Tools of War. Because only a westernized, sick, savage mind. Now let me break this down to you. For you red pills, for you dudes that stay mad at women all day and love to confront women. Sex and violence is their way. If they can't have their way, they're gonna destroy old hell, or they're going to physically take it. And he didn't talk about getting in a ring. He didn't talk about, and see, let me finish my thought. He didn't talk about fighting. He didn't talk about no other way. He talked about strictly savagery. Strict savagery. First, he took it to a prison mentality. He said, if we are in a cell and we're done with board games, you might, like, who says things like this? Like taking sex from a man is recreational. And this is disguised as jokes and comedy. He's so self-centered and think everything's about him that and this is really, let me show you the real deep psyche behind it. Because this is coming off of Kendrick saying we will not allow white comedians to disrespect our women. That's why I said you red pillars. You Kevin Samuels disciples. Why aren't y'all outraged or upset with disrespect like this? You're so conditioned and programmed that you think nobody deserves savagery but black women. And in his mind, see, this is where the colonizer comes out, and it's so casual. Because he's continuing to make fools out of black and melanated dudes. First, it was just James and Fuhad when they made jokes and were kikiing about black women. And then after they realized he made them a fool and threw them under the bus, they had to go on this weak apology tour, which they could have kept because they meant it. See, that's what it is. Set you up for the foolishness and watch you suffer, or watch you take the backlash. But for Kendrick to say, don't allow white comedians to disrespect black women. He said no name. He said nothing. He assumed because he's a white comedian that disrespects black people or black women and make jokes. So his entitlement and their mind is to make you think you cause your own suffering. You disrespect your women, so I should do it. You do this, so I should be able to. That is that entitlement. So not only did he say, so what? It's like reading between it. So what? I disrespect your women because you disrespect them. You shouldn't have a problem with me. But not only am I going to continue to disrespect your women, I'm going to disrespect you. Let's go back to some real savage colonized way of thinking. That they would have their way with our women against their will. And after they induced such fear into the black male, because he knew from a psychological standpoint, he wanted to do something, but he knew the consequence. So he had to just take it and watch his woman be disrespected. Right? So on top of that, this is what really have bred contention or beef or between black males and black females. We've never recovered from this, y'all. We've never recovered from our great ancestors that were on those plantations and were victims to that type of behavior and had to witness their children being sold off. Had to witness their women being violated and feeling helpless like they couldn't do anything about it. had to endure them as men themselves being victims of that type of savagery. And that's a joke. And that's a joke. Meanwhile, if we were to say anything about the Jewish community, we would be hit with anti-Semitic. That's how they play you. Because if you talk about the LGBT gay community, they're going to call you homophobic. If you talk about the monstrosities they made out of these transgenders, they're going to call you transphobic. If you make fun of if you say anything about the Jewish community, they're going to call you anti-Semitic, and you really need to learn about anti-Semitism. But make fun of black people, oh, they do it. There's nothing in place when they make fun of us. And we are so conditioned and so adjusted to it. We start to emulate and say, well, we do it. Which through the programming, we do. But extra on the emphasis of through the programming, the Tavistock Institute by John Coleman, Beyond Freedom and Dignity by B.F. Skinner. Understand those names. So for him to say, because that's their thing, that's a conquering thing. That's a conquering. Talking about submission, that is a level of psych violence on another level. Who thinks of that's why he has security? Not because he don't want to be harmed, not because he don't want to be mobbed by people, not because he don't want to be robbed, but because he don't want to be sexually assaulted? What type of mind thinks like that? And it was funny. And a brother under my content made an excellent point. He said the brother on the panel, they were too scared to say anything back, so they laughed and went with the flow. And I couldn't agree more. Because that is the position of the black male, some of these black males nowadays. They're too coward to say anything, so they can't beat them. They join them. They laugh. And what is funny about that? That's why I'm in favor of smacking comedians. Listen, Will Smith, what day is it again? On Friday, December the 6th, 2024, Will Smith did nothing wrong. You smack a comedian if they get out of line. He smacked another man. He didn't smack a woman. He didn't smack a child. He didn't smack a man with a disability. He smacked another grown man for talking crazy. And conditioned Negroes said he messed up the bag. His wife ain't worth it. Leaving the woman further unprotected. I don't care about what they do. It is. Let's not talk about where Jada did this. Then we start to play the semantics, because your cowardice wants to jump. The cowardice wants to go somewhere else. You say, would he have smacked The Rock? He didn't smack August Alsina. He wouldn't have smacked Mike Tyson. None of them would have disrespected his wife in a room full of white people like that. I don't care if Jada Pinkett is the biggest 304 there is. That is still his wife. You know, just like with Cam Newton, how he's playing in Jazzy's face, how he's busy showing Jazzy, I don't want you. But we can't be mad because that's her choice. That's their union. They may not be married, but they are connected. And we say, hey, she know what she signed up for, the same thing. They are married. We could just be arguing, leaving the house, but nobody else is going to make fun of my wife if I have one. You don't get that right to make people laugh at my wife at their expense. But the cowardice in you, most of you black males, because they've conditioned you to hate your compliments so much, you just want to see her suffer. Because it ain't even about Jada Pinkett. It's about your unsolved traumas. It's Jada Pinkett reminds you of a woman that did you wrong. So in your sick dissonance, that's retribution for the woman that did you wrong. But you never want to see that colonizer be done wrong. Because they've Men in Black deleted your memory from that. But what is funny about sexual assault? Do you think we would have been able to make that joke at a small hat like that? But that's me. I'm really not gonna take up all your time. If you feel what I'm saying, that's all I ask y'all, to put sevens in the comments. That let me know y'all feel me. Put sevens in the comments and just simply like it. But I appreciate you if you listen. I appreciate you for ones that stayed. Peace.